Fresh off their big Monday night win, the New York Jets go home to take on the Miami Dolphins. What's going on, guys? I'm Matt O'Leary, back with another video, and today's topic is going to be previewing the New York Jets versus the Miami Dolphins. But before we get started, just wanted to mention that you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So now that we got that out of the way, can we just one more time briefly talk about how good the New York Jets played on Monday Night Football? They dominated all three phases of the game, and their rookie quarterback was utterly fantastic. He did a phenomenal job. He really did. Outside of the interception for a pick six, he completed 76% of his passes, threw for almost 200 yards and 2 scores. Gotta love what you saw out of Sam Darnold in week 1. Now on to week 2. They are playing the Miami Dolphins. It's a divisional opponent, but I like their chances in this game. They are favored by 3 points. It's the home opener. The crowd's going to be going. So let's talk about some things. I think the Jets carry the momentum as they come in 1-0. Like I said, it's going to be a very lively crowd. Chris Johnson said earlier in the week that it is close to a sellout. It's going to be loud and reasonably so. Jets fans want to see their quarterback. And in week 1, we saw that Sam Darnold could potentially be the franchise quarterback by how well he played. Let's see if he could do it again. Ryan Tannehill, who the Jets will be facing, is 4-5 against the Jets in his career. So in 9 games, he has a losing record. He has 10 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. The Jets usually are good at picking him off. And very mediocre numbers. And even in week 1, he was just okay. He threw for 2 touchdowns, but he also had 2 picks. And he also had an 89.9 passer rating. He hasn't played he didn't play in 2017. So really last time he saw action was 2016. So he's going to be rusty at the start. So let's see if the Jets are able to take advantage of that and maybe pick him off a couple of times. Could you imagine if they get like 2 interceptions and then they have 7 after 2 weeks when they had just 11 all of last year? That'd be beyond impressive if the Jets were able to pull something like that off. Devontae Parker likely won't play in this game, which I think will play a big factor because after that, it's Danny Amendola and Kenny Stills. I know Kenny Stills had a monster game this past week, but that makes a huge difference. Danny Amendola is getting up there in age, and I don't think he's the same player that he was in New England. I think he had a really nice role there, and realistically, the Dolphins' wide receiving core is mediocre. Same thing with the running game, really. Kenyon Drake just averaged 3.4 yards per carry in the opener. And Frank Gore, who's 1.5 million years old, had just 61 yards on the ground. A very okay running game. Very okay. Defensively, they added Minkah Fitzpatrick, who had a very, very good first week and first game to his NFL career in the first round of the 2018 draft. And he is a very good player. Cameron Wake obviously gets after the passer. And they have a solid group. Not great, but solid group. I think it's going to be a semi-close game up until the third quarter, and that's when that's going to change in the second half. So what do the Jets have to do to get a win? Offensively, they have to do just enough. Realistically, you expect the running game to be good with Crowell and Bilal Powell, and then Sam Darnold just has to do what he did this past week. I would like to see Darnold move the ball downfield a little bit more, especially to Robbie Anderson, who had just 1 catch. Granted, it was a touchdown pass, but I want to see him get some more action because his route tree developed a lot last year. He is not just a fly route guy. Quincy Enunwa, I would love to see him get even more touches. Just get him the ball as much as possible. Let him do stuff yards after the catch. And Eric Tomlinson, I thought, had a really good game along with the tight end group. So we'll see what they do there. As for Darnold's predicted stat lines, this is what I'm going to go with. I think he's about 19 for 28, which is a 68 completion percentage. I'll say 1 passing TD and a 1 rushing TD for the home faithful. I think this will be a really fun game for the Jets, and they go on to win 27-17. So that's my pick. Jets 27, Dolphins 17. Like I said, the defense I think is going to be able to contain the running game for the most part. I think Tannehill makes a couple of big plays, which gets him on the board. But overall, I think the Jets dominate on the ground. I think Sam Darnold rushes for a touchdown, like I said, and he passes one. I'm going to say he throws one to the tight end. I'm going to say Neil Sterling gets a touchdown reception in week 2. That's going to be my prediction there. And we'll see just how things went in week 1. It's obvious that Jets fans are excited. They have every right to be. They played really well, and heading into week 2, it's their first home game. It's a very winnable game for the Jets. If you want to be considered a playoff team, and I know that most fans going into this year did not consider them a playoff team, but they could probably go somewhere between 7-8 wins. But if you want to get in that 9-10 range, you got to beat teams like the Dolphins. A division game against an AFC conference opponent, obviously, because they're in the same division. It's a big game. Unless it's the Patriots, you should probably expect to win. So I'm going with the Jets. I think they take care of business. If you like what I said, comment below. If you disagree with me, comment below. You could also follow me on social media, like I said before, at Matt O'Leary NY, and get at me there and join on the conversation. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.